Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, I know it's been a long time. It's been like 3 months or 4 since my last uploaded video on YouTube. But I just wanted to come to you guys and give you guys an update, share my testimony, because if you know me, you know that this few months has been a lot. A lot has happened, a lot of changes. As you can see, I'm in a different space, so hence it's all bland. There's no decorations and everything. I've not had time to decorate all that stuff, but I'm gonna talk about everything in this video, just to update to my life. It's just been a lot, so I'm just gonna jump right into the video. Oh, sorry guys, I need to fix my hair. But this video is gonna be a lengthy one, so grab a cup of coffee or tea, or just sit down and just cross your legs and just it's gonna be a long video. But I'm basically gonna be sharing about my testimony, where God has brought me from, and where I'm going. I'm super excited. Let me just jump right into the video. Okay, so if you guys noticed, back like a couple of months ago, I did like a 21-day challenge where I was recording on YouTube every single day, and that was great. It was amazing. I had fun doing that. And right after, I felt like things just literally went downhill. It was just like problems after problems, dealing with life and stuff like that. So school this last semester, I didn't do well academically as I wanted to. It had like a lot of factors to deal with. I had a lot of jobs, I was just doing a lot, and just trying to figure things out in life and things. I was basically adulting, right? And if you guys know, previously, I was an RA, so I had that going on and everything. My RA job was on point. I didn't that. I never my performance never affected. My academic performance never affected my RA performance in anyhow, because I love my residents. I love my job. It had its headaches every now and then, but I still loved it. So December literally came around, and there was winter break. And y'all, I had no break, literally. I was working. I had like 3 jobs. I was working, literally. I would go to work. I would come back. I would sleep. It would be like a rotation. And because of that, my fitness levels kind of fell down, because I was eating like a bunch of junk food. I was not working out and stuff. I was just too tired after work to work out. And it was just long hours and stuff like that. Because if you work at the hospital, it's usually 12 hours, 8-hour shifts and stuff. So I would just be working long hours. I was tired. I didn't have a break. One memory I remember vividly from winter break that was oh my God, was amazing, was when I had time to go home and spend time with my siblings and my family. That was the best. So winter break happening, a lot of stuff happening, bad semester. I'm already beating myself up for it. This is back in November-ish, back in December. Yeah, so December I had a horrible semester. I've never had a bad semester before. Even from being in college, I've never had a bad semester. I've always had good grades, on top of my stuff. But last semester, just a lot going on, family problems. It was just a lot that I would go into in another video. So that affected my academic performance. And December come around, I go home, I'm ready, getting pumped for the new year, and I get an email. So this is a week before RA training. I get an email that I've been terminated from my RA position. And I'm like, wait. What's going on? How do I get terminated? I've been a great RA. I've never, nothing is I was really confused. And if you guys know, being an RA, I get free housing on campus, so I don't have to pay for housing at all. So that was a blessing too. So when I got this letter, literally when I tell you I was bawling, I cried. And this was I read this email. It was a Friday all night. So Fridays my family and I go to church. So I was back home then. So Friday my family and I go to church. So this literally right before I entered church, I read the email. I was bawling, because it was kind of one problem after the other. We're trying to solve another problem. The problem was fixed, and then another thing happened. So I was just what is going on? Where am I gonna live? Because I know if you're an RA and you get terminated, you have to move out. And I'm where am I gonna live? How am I gonna afford this? I was literally confused, distraught. It was just I was a mess, y'all. And I had put on a lot of weight too. I was about 156, which is super heavy for me, and it was just a lot of stuff going on. So then I go ahead and I send an email, because in the RA contract, if you read it, so it was because of my academic grades, right, for the semester. So if you read the compact, it doesn't really clearly say what grade gets you terminated and what grade gets you to get your probation, because if you have something like that, you just get a warning or something. So I didn't get a warning. It was just like, you're terminated. So I come to school that Monday and I emailed them like, okay, well, you can appeal this thing if you feel like the judgment was too harsh. And in my opinion, it was too harsh because if you look at my grades from literally from A to Z, I've never had bad grades. It was just I had a really rough semester. And even with that, my grades weren't like uber bad, but it didn't meet the RA standards, right? But in my opinion, I was supposed to get a warning because I've never had any bad thing happen before. It was just this one time, and I've never had any complaints. I was never written up by an RA and like by my supervisor or anything. So fast forward, I go ahead and put in an appeal letter, and then we had training that week, so they still tell me, hey, go to training for the week. So I'm thinking, okay, hope at this point, I'm fasting with church as well. So my mom is I love her to death. She was there for me through it all, encouraging me to pray, have faith. But if I'm being honest, there were a lot of moments that I had doubts, because I'm just like, what if the appeal doesn't go through? But in my high moments, I was positive, because I'm like, and even people around me were like, yeah, you shouldn't be terminated, it doesn't make sense. So I went ahead to submit the appeal letter. I went to training for a week, and in the end, I met with a lady. I don't want to reveal anyone's name or anything. And I met a lady, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know why we even do appeals in the first place, because it doesn't get approved." Da, 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 da. So basically, she was telling me that she's not gonna the appeal wasn't gonna be turned over, so I was still gonna be fired. Which means I had to move on and everything. So she's like, "I'm gonna wait till give me a while, let me think about it. Till the end of the day, and I'll send you a letter." So she waits till the end of the day, send me a letter, and then she's like, "Yeah, we're still gonna fire you. So you have 72 hours to move out." And mind you, this whole thing was just to everybody. To everybody, it didn't make sense, because it's this is what the contract says. So why are you guys firing this girl? Why isn't a warning? It was just a bunch of things. It just took everybody by surprise, even me by surprise. So I'm like, your contract says one thing, but it was just a bunch of stuff. I would just say BS, but in a way, it's been a blessing in disguise at the same time. So just a bunch of stuff going on. So literally, I had 72 hours to pack and move, guys. I didn't know where I was gonna stay, because I'm just where am I supposed to go? And then they had housing available, but I'm I don't know where you guys are gonna put me. I might be put in I don't know, a place with roommates back. It was just so it was a lot. And I had 72 hours. And then by the time she sent an email, I didn't even have time to call somebody to even say, hey, do you guys have availability with places? And that weekend too was a storm weekend. So literally, I had to pack my stuff and then take it back home. And then back home is an hour and some change away. But thankfully for friends who were put in my life as angels, I have a friend that lives in Richmond. She was like, "Oh, you can move in with me and my family till you find a place. My family loves you." So I was able to move some of my stuff to her place. She was a God-sent angel, guys, because I would have been commuting from home and back an hour and a half, right? So I moved to her place temporarily, and I started looking for a place because I didn't want to get comfortable. And at this point, I didn't know how I was gonna do financially, but literally I was just trusting God, because I got to a point where tears were not even a thing anymore, because I felt like I was wrongfully terminated and everything was just going literally left. And crazy thing is, in the beginning of the year, I told God this year I just wanted to be me and you. Anything that is gonna be a distraction, anything that's not gonna let us me and you just be, please take it out my way. And then things just started going downhill. And I'm not saying that, oh, God took my job. I don't even know if he did or he did not, but I have a strong feeling that he did. But either way, I'm so grateful and I'm thankful as to where I am now. So back to the story. So I moved in with my friend for a week and stuff. So I'm staying there trying to find a place, and I found this place I'm currently living in now, right? So I didn't want a roommate because I want a 1-bedroom just to myself, just because I have a lot of things that I'm doing, and having a roommate would not help a lot. So, and I've had experience with living with people and it's not been the greatest. So I decided, okay, I don't want a roommate. So I get to this leasing place. They're like, oh, well, we have 1 bedroom available. So you can come in tomorrow and sign, and you get situated. So I was like, oh my God, you're really coming through. This is just amazing. So everything was just falling into place, even though from one point I didn't have a place to live to the next point I could potentially be signing a lease. So I was really, really excited. I was like, oh my God, I was so happy, like, you know, like, because it has just been a week of just tears and just crying, because it's like school's right about to start, and I'm like, I got fired. And when you're in RE, you get a stipend too, and like my stipend got taken away from me, so it's just like everything was just bleh. So me getting this, like, in the process of them telling me like, hey, you have this place, was even a blessing in disguise. So at this point too, I come the next day, and then guess what they tell me? They're like, oh, well, we're so sorry, someone came to sign the lease this morning. And I was like, what are you telling me? You had literally just told me I can come in, and then I come in, you told me somebody has signed the lease. Boom. So I, like, literally, they're like, well, we have 2 bedrooms available if you would like, but the only thing is people live in now, so you'd have to move in with them. So at this point, like, I just left. And I was like, you know what, God? I know, like, in my heart that having a roommate is not something, like, I know that that's not something I want. And then I know that you are a God who answers prayers. So I literally shed a tear, and I kept it moving, because I'm like, I'm not about to be defeated. Devil, you're not about to get the best of me saying, oh, God, why this, da, 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 da. Like, literally going through everything, I just picked myself back up. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna look for a new place. It's gonna be okay. God's in control. I let it go, let God. And I went to like different places to look. So all the places I went to look, they were decent, but the only thing is they were not furnished. And personally, I don't plan on staying in where I live right now for a long time, so I didn't see the point in like buying furniture. So, and I wanted a place which was already furnished. So this place currently I live in now is furnished, so, you know, it's all gonna make sense. So yeah, I started looking at new places. So I'm like, okay, well, at this point, so I emailed the leasing agent of this original place, right? And I was like, okay, well, I know that you guys said somebody signed the lease, so what are the specs for a 2-bedroom? Like, let me know. He's like, well, actually, you're lucky, because if you sign the 2-bedroom right now, we have one that's empty that no one lives in right now, so it'll just be you for the meantime, and you might get a roommate, you might not get a roommate. So if you don't get a roommate, that'd be good. Then you could just sign a lease for a 1-bedroom in the fall. So it's like, okay, you know, Jesus coming through, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know, thank you, Jesus. So the next day I come to the leasing office, and then they show me to the 2-bedroom, which would be just me. And that place looked a mess. Like, some girls had just moved out, and it would take them about like a few months for them to turn over the apartment because it wasn't that bad of a condition. And I was like, okay, well, I need a place to stay like now. Although I was living with my friend's family at this point, I was like, I don't want to get too comfortable and start living there. And then, like, you know, like, my friend is like cool, she's down her family even wanted me to stay there for like a long time, but I didn't want to get too comfortable. I wanted to be up and moving and things. I know that this year God has so many plans for my life, and there's so many things that I need to accomplish, that I need to be up and going, like get my own space and like, you know, do things, because I know like I had a calling, like this year was gonna be my year, like I know that for a fact. So I didn't want to sit and get too comfortable in my friend's place and start relying on things being free and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, you know, is there any other thing you can do? So, and then they're like, okay, well, we have this place, but the only thing, we have 2 bedrooms, but the only thing is your roommate should be like, they have cats. And I'm like, I don't do animals. Like, I'm terrified of animals. I was like, okay, no. So literally out of nowhere, a girl who was sitting there was like, hey, you know, actually, the guy didn't sign the lease yesterday. So did you want to sign a lease? I said, I'm sorry, what did you say? So the person who they thought had signed the 1-bedroom, guys, didn't even finish the application. So guys, when I tell you there is a God, what? So literally when she said that, I was like, say less. I sat down for like 2 hours and I signed the lease, and I got this 1-bedroom apartment. Like, y'all, I was just lost for words. And like, still I am lost for words as to how everything just got orchestrated. Like, when it says like God has like, for I know the plans I have for you, literally God knows the plans he has for you. Like, it might take years, it might take hours, it might take seconds, it might take 2 hours, like, but when God says he would do something, guys, trust him, because I would have never thought that, like, you know, things would have planned this way. Like, I didn't even, like, I went from like one week ago, I didn't know where I was gonna live. So the next week, I had the keys to my apartment. And literally, like, I was supposed to move in February 1st, but I signed the lease on Wednesday, and then literally I picked up my keys on Friday. Like, the way God did it, y'all, I had, like, it just blew my mind. And ever since then, everything has started to fall into place. Like, oh man, like, think about it, it just makes me want to cry because God is so good. And if you guys, if you guys could even understand like everything that I've been through up to that point. Like, God has just been so good. He brought the right people in my life at the right time, the right place to be comforters, to pray for me, to help me. My mom was amazing as well. My best friends, oh my goodness, I can never thank them enough. And that's part of the reason why I took a break off YouTube, because I needed to situate myself to even find a place to stay and all that stuff. But I found a place. I have a 1-bedroom, guys, and yes, I have to pay for rent. It's not free, but you know, God provides each and every time. Oh guys, and like, you know, let me just add one more testimony to my testimonies that God has done, just to know that if he's done it for me, he can do it for you, no matter how it is, no matter how bad your situation is, no matter how you think that things won't go right. If God did it for me, he will do it for you. And you know how I was telling you how, like, if you're an RA, you have a stipend, right? And then if you're not an RA again, if you stop becoming an RA, they take the stipend away, because I mean, it's not your money, you're not working, so they got to take the stipend away. So initially when everything happened, I emailed the person who is in charge of the RA stipends, and I was like, hey, you know, the stipend is still in my account, so do I have to go to financial aid for them to take it out, or would you guys take it out? Because I didn't want the money in my account and then, like, you know, they refund it to me and then I have to take it back, you know, because I'm like, money that's not yours, keeping it is not fun to spend. So I went ahead and I emailed the lady. She's like, oh, thank you so much for, like, you know, letting us know. I don't know if they're gonna keep it or take it out of your account. And I was okay, well, just let me know. And then literally, like, the next day, the money was out of my account, right? So I'm going somewhere with this, right? So the money was out of my account, and I was like, okay, well, so then she emails me back again. She's like, you know, I thought about it, and thank you for your honesty and your integrity and letting us know that the money is still in your account. I've decided to let you keep the money. So I said, won't he do it? He said he would. So I'm not an RA anymore, but I got a stipend. Like, that's how it goes to show how amazing God is. And then they had to process everything, and I finally got the refund in my account. So if I didn't have the RA refund, I would have to pay out of pocket to, like, you know, for my tuition and stuff. But I am happy and glad to say, glory be to God Most High. I don't owe anything for school. Well, I have, like, loans and stuff, but, like, this semester I didn't have to take any money out of pocket to pay for my tuition and stuff. And guys, God has been so good. I can't even emphasize the fact, like, if you're going through something, just trust God, because in his time he makes everything beautiful. I know that sometimes it might seem like he's taking forever. Why is he letting things happen the way they are? Like, you know, going through hardships and trials and tribulations. Just know that God is there and he will do it for you. Like, if he's done it for me, y'all, he can do it for you guys. I'm going to end this video because it's getting too long, but I just wanted to share my testimony in my heart as to where I've been, what's happening. And I'm just excited for what God has planned for me. I'm not yet to decorate my place, as you can see. I'm gonna, like, decorate and make it all nice and do, like, an apartment tour. But I know that this place is gonna birth out some amazing things, and everything happens for a reason. I'm excited for this journey to share with you guys as well. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.